Yo, what's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die. They stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for support if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye.
Listen to other judges, and they bring on panels of lawyers from Fox and others that go over a critique. These are people that actually have credentials, that have law licenses, and going into the depth what you can, what you can't do when running for office, and what is pay for play, how Democrats are laundering money. So that's a whole nother scandal that's being covered up that even Fannie Willis is connected to, by the way, because they want to make Trump out to be like he's the bad guy. When I pointed out, when you find out the real media, the mainstream media reported on the real information, it will blow a lot of people away. Trust me. You would be stunned. In my opinion, I know some people say, well, Dorsey, the Republicans are bad too. They're just as bad as the Democrats. Yeah, I get that. I heard about Cocaine Mitch and the stuff. I don't know. A friend of mine was telling me some stories I don't know about. But yeah, I get where you guys are coming from. But in my opinion, I've seen way more corruption from the Democratic Party than I have the Republican Party. Just my opinion. Their neighborhoods seem to be more destructive and destructive condition, where people that generally vote conservative or Republican, statistically across the board, their neighborhoods where the people live at in different cities, states, places, tends to be in better shape. That's another indication. For years, I've lived in very progressive liberal cities, so I should know, coming from, growing up, poor middle class, I've seen a thing here or there. Just putting it out there, just in my opinion. But hey, everybody to each his own. I respect everybody's opinion at the end of the day. But it's in my opinion, I've seen a lot more dirt corruption. So you had a lower court before the Supreme Court made the ruling and were saying they can't come after these tech giants. I hope they really get it together, because that lower court, that was a federal court, had found, and even the House did a separate investigation. Jim Jordan and the House Democrats found major corruption. You had the accounts in Ukraine, the money laundering, and Obama had to know about it. I found out years ago. They were using Ukraine to launder money. Members of the House of Representatives, they have access to certain information the general public doesn't. So they know about the U.S. bioweapons labs before Google scrubbed the maps off the internet. Remember, if you go to my Instagram page, those of y'all who are smart, scroll through. I put the maps over there. I downloaded them and look up. But Google, it looks like they scrubbed that information, and they have bioweapons labs worldwide, not just Ukraine. But you notice the media likes to play, how can I put it, quarterback or tailback when it comes to backing up the fraud. That's why they created this thing called fact check, which is actually created to cover up actual truths, and they try to make the things that seem preposterous that people report on, they try to make it seem conspiratorial, or say like you flew over the cuckoo's nest, or they try to get people to brush it off as conspiracy theory. That's why they always accuse Alex Jones of being a conspiracy theorist, or say right wing, or QAnon. Those are trigger words. Remember the CIA years ago, back in the 60s, if you know the history, CIA, FBI, the two organizations are closely aligned. They created the term conspiracy theory. Look it up. It's history behind the term conspiracy theory. They use that to create like a scapegoat. So in case you're not aware of that, I'm giving you guys the context to look up. I know you guys are learning action-packed information as usual, because I'm going to cover that. I'm not afraid to go over what some out there are afraid, but I'm helping you guys connect the dots, connect the pieces, and stay informed, by the way. Remember, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So these Kabbalists, this thing is real. They're into this stuff. But look up, you Christians out there, if you're born again believer, if you're in the spirituality, you're a light worker, look up the video. He was being interviewed by a guy. The host was neutral. Seems like the host wasn't into religion at all or anything. He was pretty neutral, but it was a good interview where this former Satanist, he became a born-again Christian, and he was based out of South Africa. And he names someone towards the end of the interview. I already knew this already, but I'm going to give you guys, some people say I'm a good storyteller. Thank you. Out there when I'm on Telegram, a lady sister over there mentioned she likes the stories that I tell. Appreciate it. And that's what I'm thinking about doing, is changing my channel to basically where I tell you guys stories, like story time, or, you know, make it like bedtime, late night story time. So make a long story short, this former Satanist mentions the truth about Satanism. He became a born-again Christian. He exposes it. He was high up. And he says they have different positions, but they're embedded. There's heads of CEOs of corporations, famous people. He said some people he couldn't name, some people he was still friends with, which I understand. I know how that works. And plus he was originally under a non-disclosure agreement. So the first video, he couldn't mention certain things, but listen to the updated video that he did. Look for his more current video. And if you have the software, make sure you download the video, archive it in case YouTube decides that something happens down the road, they decide to try to get rid of it. So you would have it as reference. But he names, towards the end of it, he tells the host, there's a lady who had a school years ago in Africa who was part of this. And remember, I came under some flack, some scrutiny a while ago behind the scenes. Some people that know me in person that watch my videos, and they say, oh, there's no way that person could be involved. And I say, oh, she's deep in this thing. I won't say her name, but this video, I told a friend of mine recently, this interview was confirmation. He named this person. And I knew about this because according to certain sources, and Alex Jones, InfoWars, Band.video, which I recommend going there, has reported when she was very close to Harvey Weinstein. And Weinstein was very close to Jeffrey Epstein. So put the two together. And remember, this person whose name I'm not mentioning, there was a former music artist. When he started to say something, his name was Seal. He did a song on the Batman movie soundtrack some years ago. He won a Grammy Award for it. He named this person. He said, how are you part of this other movement? He said, you were part of this thing. He called basically pretending, and then he got attacked where he had to shut up basically. But there's an actual article where there's a lady who actually mentions she's from overseas, and she names this particular person and another famous model for actually luring her in to Harvey Weinstein. I'm just not saying the names of this individual, but in this interview, he names this person is very wealthy. She's a woman. And he said she had a school in Africa many years ago. And he said, he basically told the host, and I was like, whoa, I already knew who he was talking about and confirmation. And I said, I've never met this guy before, but that's synchronicity, guys. You connect the dots. And I have to say this person's name at all, but I'll let you fill in the pieces, allegedly, because remember, I did give a disclaimer, but I didn't say this person's name at all. But I said a while ago, I did say the person's name in a previous video, and I said, oh, she's deep in this thing. And I mean, you women out there, I'm just saying to the sisters, don't be fooled. Just like you're watching a movie, sometimes certain movies, the person that's pretending to be the good guy the whole time, the person you thought was the good guy, good person or good woman, is actually can double cross you or is leading you or has a dark side that you didn't know about that's covered up. Or the person that you thought is the bad guy sometimes, you come to find out they're actually the good guy. But they had to go undercover or they had to go in that position, but they have things flipped around, and you have to be careful with the mainstream media. Notice when they attack a certain individual or they pick a side, you guys got to use critical thinking, and you got to look at every issue, every political issue. Yeah, it's not a perfect situation. I was having a discussion with a friend of mine's wife earlier today, and I said, yeah, and someone else, and I said, yeah, you are forced to pick a different side. You're forced overall, but look at each political issue, or look at the fact when the media has picked out who the boogeyman or the bad guy or the bad person is. Got to pay attention to that. Why are they attacking this person? Do your research behind what they're saying. Don't just buy the news or what David Muir from ABC Nightly News or Lester Holt. from NBC Nightly News. Don't just buy what they're telling you, or CNN or MSNBC with Joy Reid or Rachel Maddow are telling. Investigate. Do your research. Use critical thinking. Do what I do. You can get it out of books. I recommend David Icke's book, Children of the Matrix. That's what helped wake me up years ago. Found out former sex trafficking victim, Kathy O'Brien, out of Muskegon, Michigan. So I found out she did interviews. This stuff, some of this stuff is public information. It's already been reported on. Just like Jerry Sandusky at Penn State. Remember that was all in the news some years ago. How is that possible? If QAnon is such a conspiracy theory, how is it we have the Anthony Weiner laptop? Remember how I went over that information? You also had Hunter Biden's laptop. They didn't tell you about that aspect, what they found, other than just the drugs and gun stuff. There was some other stuff that the guy from the that was an IT professional at his computer shop, what he found on there, former Green Beret, saw him in the interview, was stunned by what he described. This real actual stories, folks. But why is it MSNBC don't, Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, they won't give you those details? Because they have an agenda. And they're also pushing an alphabet agenda too. So this is another reason why they don't want to share certain things with you, because they don't want to expose their minions or their masters that they report to, because they're underlinks. They're higher ups. They're afraid. Like the diddler. Yeah, you got other women. You got women part of this, deep in this thing too. So don't let the smooth taste fool you that it's just men who are into this stuff, or that men are masculine or chauvinistic or sexist or evil. No, you have women. Women, don't be naive out there. I'm telling you, sisters, I'm saying this with love. Each and every woman that watches, listens to my videos, use discernment. Be wise. Use discernment, because you have women that are deeply in this thing, and you'll be surprised what you find out. But don't let it be in a situation where it's too late, while we still have the chance to fight and expose these people. They are losing. The New World Order is scared. Really, I keep abreast. That's why they're desperate. Some of the moves they're making, they're trying to start World War III. I heard about the meeting in D.C. A friend of mine told me that's down there, gave me intel. They got NATO tanks and stuff. They're trying to start World War III and things. They're desperate. They're desperate, folks. So, but be aware, use discernment, do your research, use critical thinking. Don't take my word for what I say. That's why I'm so confident in what I'm sharing, because it's already been reported on. It's in books. A lot of this stuff. You had Jerry Sandusky scandal. Look at what the USA Gymnasts with Simone Biles and remember Larry Nassar with USA Gymnastics. He was convicted. Remember the guy that used to do the Subway commercials? What's his name? Jared Fogle. Whatever. He was remember what he was into. Remember the Nexium sex cult. Remember the actor Allison Mack pled guilty and she wasn't even a ringleader. Remember they had to get tattooed and stuff. Remember Richard Branson was connected to that. Remember there was a lady whistleblower came on Dr. Phil's show, said there was another guy that had a private island. This other lady who was a whistleblower, she was trafficked years ago, kidnapped or controlled as a sex slave by these traffickers when she told her story. Look up Peter Nygaard. Look up who these people, who they are. You want to check out that video of that former guy, that the ex-Satanist. Look that up. If you're a born-again Christian believer, I'm just sharing, relaying the information. So I kind of got maybe off track. I'm going to get to you guys' comment and maybe go over my dreams some more. You guys know I have a tendency to do that, but I appreciate each and every one of you all here. Bianca Lagarde says, hi, Dorsey. Favor upon you, brother. Much love. Appreciate you. Together We Are One says, I think that you are smart for not sharing your portfolio with people. That's so personal. And what good can come from random people knowing what you're holding? Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Appreciate that. Yep, that's one of the reasons why Star Sourcer says, good evening, Dorsey and all. Appreciate you, Star Sourcer. Star Sourcer says, just join in crazy dreams of such abundance. Yes. Abe says, your prayers. Says, good to see you, brother. Yup. Says Seth Rich. Yup, he was the whistleblower leaker that was believed to be a murder. I remember Donna Brazile mentioned it's around the time I think Debbie Wasserman Schultz stepped down from the DNC, Democratic National Convention, and when Donna Brazile took over, she apologized or said on MSNBC she felt she was responsible I guess to a degree. Who else? Abe says NCSWIC. Okay. Not sure what that means. Hold the line says, hi, Dorsey. Hold the line says, I wish you good health and good wealth with you. Let me post that. He says, I wish you good health and good wealth with you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Abe Vamis says, Mother Teresa he says, really, man, said Fauci's father, Mother Teresa. Okay. Sounds like that's okay. That's probably based on some of the info I just went over earlier. I'm just now getting to the comments. Sounds like that's who you're talking about. I could be wrong though. Okay. This person, I'll give you a hint, had a famous TV show years ago. But listen, look up this the video of, he's an ex-Satanist. I don't remember his name, but he was being interviewed. He had a first interview. He mentioned he couldn't release as much information because he was under a non-disclosure agreement. But his latest video, his more recent one, I mean, since the one I've watched, I don't know if he's done any other videos since then. He said, he told the interviewer, he said there was a lady who had a school in South, because I guess he was in Johannesburg. I could hear the accent in his voice. Johannesburg, South Africa. Because, you know, Satanism is worldwide, by the way. So, yeah, watch that video. It will give you a hint. I didn't say the person's name, by the way. Abe says R. Kelly, Kanye, OJ all have RICO charges. The news won't tell us. Yeah, okay, yep. Well, I've heard a lot. Yep, a lot of stuff going on. Yep. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on. You know, names I don't want to. I'm not going to say, but you can say I've said in previous videos. But I'll let you connect the dots. You all connect the pieces. Go back, go and look up on YouTube. Do the search. Look up if you're born again Christian, or you're a believer, or hey, you're just curious. Look up the video, the ex-Satanist. He'll answer a lot of questions. Why Satanism? Why they created it? It was started by the Church of Satan. Was started by Anton LaVey. Is also created as a political organization to counter conservatives, also to help the Kabbalists, the evil ones, bring in their sick agenda. Because remember, they're into not only kidnapping children, but organ trafficking, the whole 9 yards as well. Also, look up the interview of Allie Carter. Go on Rumble, look up the Stu Peters interview with Allie Carter. Look that interview up. It would behoove you. Is more confirmation. Look up the Allie Carter interview with Stu Peters. Also, look up who Noreen Gosh was. Look up Noreen Gosh. If you never heard of her before, she's the mother that was pushed for legislation what led to the modern day Amber Alert system. Look up Noreen Gosh. Look up the story of her son, Johnny Gosh. Look that up. If you get a chance, look up Ted Gunderson. Look that story up. You can go on Rumble. If you can't find some of this on YouTube, go to Rumble, go to BitChute, go to other search engines. Look up if all the information hasn't been completely scrubbed from the internet. But archive it, download it, archive it, because the Kabbalists, they want to get rid of the information. They want to brainwash people for the future, for their new world order. They want slaves. They want what's called a brave new world. It's a movie done some years ago. They want an Orwellian 1984 future. They don't want an informed general public. So archive the information. This is a warning. Download it if you have the software. There's tutorial videos. We'll teach you how to do this stuff so you have the evidence. So in case another program down the road that counters YouTube, by the way, where you can monetize, Rumble is one of them, but there may be others coming. You'll have the information archives, or if, in case something happens to Rumble, if the Kabbalists or the George Soroses of the world try to buy it and turn it evil, like they've done many other platforms, like Google did to Daily Motion and other video platforms that have freedom of speech. That's what they do to try to counter it. You will have the information archived to be able to share it in lectures, teach it to people privately, so they can be properly informed. And this information cannot be covered up like what the mainstream media won't report fully on the full information, like Lester Holt, MSNBC, and David Muir from NBC Nightly News. It'll force them, why they're a lot of times now they're being forced to report more of the real information, because the general public is seeing through their scams and their lies and what they're not showing. So now the mainstream media is being forced to report on more truthful information, like a lot of stuff with Diddy. I look at True Law and Crime channel because you guys are calling them out. So they're going to be forced to start having a report on this stuff. Yep, Aldous Huxley. Yep, Brave New World. Look up who Aldous Huxley was. They don't. That's right, the elites. He was the guy that I guess that wrote the book. It was a book first, but I found out it's a movie. I think you can watch the old clips of the movie. You can pull it up on YouTube. By the way, watch it for free. That's one thing. I don't abandon YouTube, even though it is controlled by the cabal, unfortunately. But I'm giving you guys inside baseball so you can counter what they're doing. So they can't shut all of our voices up as we're exposing their agenda. Because remember, the elites, they're scared. We're winning. That's why Klaus Schwab was scared. He doesn't like freedom of speech. When that Japanese reporter went up to him and she told him she wasn't with the mainstream media, he asked her. He walked away with his bodyguards. These are sick people, scared. She was no threat. You could have done an interview with her, Klaus Schwab, you evil. You and Yuval Noah Harari. We're on to you. And Yuval Noah Harari admitted. He did an interview. He's a liar. That interview he did with, what's that guy's name? Who's friends with Mark Zuckerberg? I forget the guy's name. Says there is no ruling class elite. He's a liar. Because he's part of it. Yuval Noah Harari wrote a book. Talked about they want to replace human beings with AI. Artificial intelligence. Says they no longer need humans anymore. By his own admission, publicly. He can't take it back. He's already said it publicly on the record. Says we don't need humans anymore. They want transhumanism. They want to merge us with AI. So just be aware they're being exposed. So they can't cover up anymore. They have to try to cover up. They can't have it out in the open what their agenda is. They wanted to have it out in the open. But because so many people are awake, they have to do their evil deeds behind doors. That's what the elites, but we're exposing their criminality. And they don't like that, folks. That's what's going on. Had to do the sinister voice for you guys. Add a little comedy to it so you guys understand. They don't like that. So we're winning. More people are waking up. May the force be with you guys. Until next time, I'm going to get out of here. That's my time, but I just want to let you guys know. I told you guys about the dreams. I'm feeling really positive. By the way, positive energy. So until next time, may the force be with you guys. You guys, everyone, have a good one. Dorsey's Resource, I'm out. Amito Fo. Arrivo Dirty. Jai Jin.